1 missile. 100 explosions. Cluster bombs don't just destroy, they dominate battlefields. But what exactly are cluster missiles? Why do some countries ban them, while others continue to use them? Welcome to Next Gen Investors. Today, we take a powerful detour from finance and explore one of the most controversial weapons ever made: the cluster missile. A cluster missile is not a normal bomb. It's a delivery system that carries multiple smaller explosives, called submunitions or bomblets. When it reaches a certain point midair, it bursts open and releases dozens, or sometimes hundreds, of bomblets, spreading destruction over a massive area. Imagine targeting a full convoy of tanks or a large infantry base. One cluster missile can do the work of many regular bombs. It doesn't aim at just one spot. It covers the entire battlefield. How cluster missiles work. These missiles can be launched from fighter jets, artillery systems, or even drones. Once airborne, they fly toward the enemy zone, then break apart midair. What happens next? A rain of bomblets, each one a deadly explosive. Some bomblets explode on impact. Others are triggered by movement, proximity, or even timers. Some bounce before they detonate. This makes them incredibly effective at wiping out multiple targets in just seconds. Types of cluster munitions. There are several types of cluster munitions. 1. Anti-personnel bomblets, packed with metal fragments to injure or kill soldiers. 2. Anti-tank bomblets, designed with shaped charges to pierce heavy armor. 3. Incendiary bomblets, used to start fires and destroy supply lines or vehicles. 4. Smart sensor-fused bomblets, high-tech devices that detect enemy vehicles using infrared and only detonate when a real target is confirmed. Some even float down on parachutes, searching for heat signatures before striking. Real-world usage. Cluster bombs have been used in many wars: Vietnam, Afghanistan, Chechnya, Iraq, Syria, and more recently, Ukraine. In Vietnam, over 260 million submunitions were dropped. Thousands never exploded, and still injure civilians today. In the 2022 Russia-Ukraine war, both sides used cluster munitions, despite global criticism. Why? Because one cluster missile can stop entire battalions in their tracks. Brutal, but effective. Military advantages. Why do armies still use them? 1. Wide area coverage. 2. Stops enemy movements quickly. 3. Creates fear and denies access to large zones. 4. Cost-effective, one weapon, many blasts. In short, they're a force multiplier. One launch, many explosions. Massive battlefield impact. Controversy and global ban. But now, let's talk about the darker side. Not all bomblets explode immediately. Many stay buried in the ground and become deadly landmines. These unexploded bombs injure civilians, farmers, and even children years after the war ends. That's why over 120 nations have signed the Convention on Cluster Munitions, a global treaty that bans their use, production, and stockpiling. But some major powers haven't signed. The United States, Russia, China, India, Pakistan, and Israel still keep them in active stock. Modern smart cluster weapons. Today, cluster weapons are evolving. Some bomblets are built to self-destruct after a short time. Others deactivate automatically if they fail to explode. New models use AI, GPS, and sensor-based guidance to avoid civilian areas. But war is chaotic. Even smart tech can fail. That's why critics argue, no matter how advanced, cluster bombs will always be risky. Conclusion. Cluster missiles are powerful, feared, and highly controversial. They offer unmatched power on the battlefield, but come with devastating long-term consequences. Should they be banned completely? Or controlled with smarter technology? What do you think? Tell us in the comments. And if you learned something new today, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to NextGen Investors Defense Edition. Until next time. Stay smart. Stay informed.